o buenas tardes. Hermanas, my sister is here, hermanas, colegas, y amigas. It is truly an honor to stand before you today, 1,300 strong, brilliant Latinas. Each of you leading, each of you innovating, and each of you shaping the world in your own way. Before I begin, I have a few questions for you. Audience participation. Are you ready to participate in some questions? Okay, good. That's what I want to hear. How many of you know a leader? Raise your hand. That's good. Keep your hands up. How many of you know someone who advocates for their community? Keep your hands up. How many of you know someone who stands up for what they believe in? That's right. Most whole room, exactly. Now here's the most important question. How many of you raise your hand for yourself? All of you, most of you, right? Yes, because the truth is each and every one of you is already a leader. Give yourselves a round of applause. Because you are leaders. You're leaders for your families. You're leaders for your workplace. You're leaders for your communities. You do not need a title, and I'll tell you as an ambassador, you don't need a title to lead. Leadership is about action, about using your voice, about making a difference, big or small, wherever you stand. Now let me ask you something else. How many of you know a United States ambassador? Raise your hand. So that's good. For many of you, the answer might be no. But perhaps this is the first time that you get to meet an ambassador. And that's why I'm here today, because I want to see more Latinas, more women as United States ambassadors. Because we all know if we can see it, we can be it, right? Diplomacy is not just about representing a country. It's about representing values. It's about representing people. And it's about representing possibilities. It's about bridging worlds, building connections, and opening doors, not just for ourselves, but for others. And in that way, we're all ambassadors. Because leadership is not about a title. I go back to that. It's about action. So today, I want to share my journey. In many ways, it's our shared journey. It's a journey of resilience, of breaking barriers, of providing and proving that we belong in every room, at every table, and at every decision-making space. As I stand here, I think about my own journey. How a young girl from Anaco, Venezuela, who once sat in a classroom struggling to learn English, could one day stand before the world at the highest levels. If someone had asked me as a young girl where I saw myself in the future, I never could have imagined the path my life would take me in. I would never have imagined that I would serve as Deputy Chief of Staff to the Mayor of Los Angeles, helping shape policy and drive initiatives in one of the largest cities in the world. That I would go on to become an executive in the private sector, working across the Western Hemisphere to drive strategic growth and development. That I would later lead a national nonprofit, mobilizing millions and advancing policies to amplify Latino political power. And that one day, I would stand on the world stage representing our United States of America. And yet every one of those roles prepared me for the next. Because life is not about picking just one road. It's about staying open, learning from every experience, and being willing to evolve. I did not always know where I was going, but I kept moving forward. And that is the most important lesson, always always keep moving forward. Our potential is often far greater than what we can see in front of us. I want to say that one more time. Our potential is often far greater than what we can see in front of us. Throughout life, people will attempt to define you, define me, define all of us, by your background, by your first job, or the expectations placed upon us. But never, never allow yourself to be confined by someone else's idea of who you should be. From an early age, we are asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Right? What do you want to be when you grow up? As if the answer is singular, or fixed, or final. But life is not a straight path, nor should it be. You are not meant to fit into one mold. You're meant to grow, to transform, to evolve, to expand your horizons in ways you never can imagine. And I am a living proof of just that. My trajectory has taken me across government, the private sector, the nonprofit world, and into international diplomacy. Each role building upon the last, broadening my perspective and preparing me for what came next. None of it was planned in a straight line, but each experience enriched me, strengthened me, and opened doors I never knew existed. So do not limit yourself to a single narrative. Pursue what inspires you. Challenge what is expected of you, of us, and never be afraid to step into the unknown. Because the most extraordinary opportunities often lie just beyond what we can see today. And the more you embrace possibility, the more you will realize that your potential is not predetermined. It is limitless. Yes, it's limitless. Like so many of you, my journey began with change. I arrived to the United States at 9 years old. Everything was new, new language, new culture, and new expectations of me. I still remember sitting in my 5th grade class, struggling to learn my ABCs, while my classmates seemed miles ahead of me. A year later, my father passed away, suddenly. Those early years were very, very difficult. But they also shaped me, because in those moments, I learned two important things that would guide me for the rest of my life. The first is the power of community. And the second, the resilience we find within ourselves. When everything felt uncertain, my mother, who's here and always here, held our family together. Yes, give her a round of applause. My teachers helped me find my voice. My neighbors became my extended family. And I know many of you have stories just like mine. Stories of overcoming, stories of reinvention, stories of finding strength when the world underestimates us. That is what makes us unstoppable. We keep pushing forward even when the road is unclear. My journey in public service began in Los Angeles City Council member Mike Fuhr's field office. People don't mention that once you become ambassador, but I started in the field office in Sherman Oaks. It was not glamorous. In Sherman Oaks, there's Sherman Oaks people here. Or are they clapping for Mike Fuhr? I don't know. Or the Valley. Let's clap for all of them. It was not glamorous work. It was not making decisions, big decisions at least. I was young, I was eager, and I was ready to make a difference. What I did not realize then was that this was my first lesson in leadership. That leadership does not begin in the spotlight. It begins in the trenches. Let me say that one more time. Leadership does not begin in the spotlight, it begins in the trenches doing the hard work. I was listening, I was solving problems, and I was showing up, and I'm still doing that today. I learned that real change happens when you listen to people's stories. We have one mouth, two ears, right? We should listen double as much as we speak. When we show up, not just when the cameras are rolling, but when the work is hard, when the work is unglamorous, and when the work is messy. Leadership is not about titles, it's about action. People often ask me, and I'm sure you're wondering, what does the ambassador actually do, right? Well, let me answer that question for all of you. The United States ambassador serves as the official representative of the President of the United States of America and the nation itself. When you enter into the room, people stand up because it's as if the President of the United States is present. This role carries immense responsibility. It's a profound privilege, embodying the trust and authority of your nation on a global stage. Some days I met with government officials and ministers, strengthening diplomatic and economic ties. Other days I worked with American businesses to promote trade and investment. And many days I visited schools and universities, speaking with young people about their future, about their ambitions, and the opportunities that exist beyond what we can see today. And for those that know me, you know that I did all of that plus more in one day. When I was nominated by the President of the United States, Joe Biden, and later confirmed by the United States Senate, I knew I was stepping into a role where very few women and very few and even fewer Latinas have gone before. Diplomacy is a world of tradition, of protocol, and sometimes exclusion. Walking into meetings with world leaders, I often found myself as the only woman, the only Latina, and sometimes the only immigrant. But here's what I learned. Being the first is a privilege, but it's also a huge responsibility. If we open the door, we must leave it open for others to follow us and ensure that they're with us. Representation is power. Every time I stood at a podium, every time I negotiated on behalf of the United States of America, I knew somewhere a young woman or a young Latina was watching and thinking, si ella puede, yo también puedo. We don't just adapt to spaces we enter, we change them. Our lived experiences make us better leaders, better policymakers, and better diplomats. There are also 3 lessons that I want to leave with you today. You are ready now. The right moment is now. You don't need anybody to tap you on the shoulder and invite you to lead, because that might never happen, my friends. If you have a vision, go for it, and go for it now. If you have a dream, start it, and start it now. Second, your story is your strength. Don't shy away from it. Everything we have lived, everything you have lived, every struggle, every setback has made us stronger, has made you stronger. Own your story. Let it fuel you. Third, success is measured by who you bring with you, because true leadership is not how high you rise, it's how many others rise with you. And let me add this. Yes. And let me add this. There is no secret sauce, no simple recipe for success. It takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes discipline, and an army of people who support you. But above all, It takes never giving up on yourself, believing in your dreams, and having the persistence to keep going, no matter the obstacles. It means not taking no for an answer. No is not in my vocabulary. It means figuring out your way forward and finding the path to the finish line, no matter how many times you have to reroute. Because success is not just about talent nor opportunity. It's about determination. It's about resilience. It's about the will to keep moving forward no matter what. Ladies, the world is waiting for you. Be bold, be fearless, be the leader you were always meant to be. Because if this young girl from Anaco, Venezuela, who once sat in a classroom, well, I'm no longer young. I mean, Elsa says she's 45, I just turned 50. Actually, we're birthday twins. But I'm 5 years older. Because if this young girl from Anaco, Venezuela, who once sat in a classroom struggling to learn English, could one day stand before you and the world as the highest US representative, then anything, my friends, is possible. Go, lead, break barriers, and change the world. Thank you very much.